Hello, fifth graders. Congratulations, you have made it to Poetry Day 3. I'm outside, so you might hear some traffic in the background. Don't be alarmed. So today we're going to learn about rhyme, personification, and onomatopoeia. Big words. Are you ready? Here we go. Today's learning goal. Today we will explore rhyme and sensory details in poems. We will learn about personification and onomatopoeia, and we will write a poem about weather. Let's look at September and the sea. So those are poems that we've read in the past day or two. So I'm going to bring those up here. So September. This poem is by John Updike. The breezes taste of apple peel. The air is full of smells to feel. Ripe fruit, old footballs, drying grass, new books and blackboard, chalk in class. The bee his hive well-honeyed hums, while mother cuts chrysanthemums. Like plates washed clean with suds, the days are polished with a morning haze. So this is really, seems to me like a reflection on the month of September, which is nice. So the idea here is, what do you notice about the rhyming patterns in these three poems? So I'm just going to read you September, and I'm going to read you the sea. Okay, so we're looking for rhyming patterns. Do we see any rhyming patterns in September? What do you see that I don't see? Oh, I noticed in the 3rd stanza. By the way, just a reminder, this is a stanza, this is a stanza, this is a 3rd stanza, and a 4th stanza. In poetry, we don't really have paragraphs per se. We call them stanzas. They're like groupings of thoughts. So hopefully you've noticed what I've noticed. The word hums and chrysanthemums. Those are rhyming words. So let's read The Sea. Remember The Sea by Deborah Chandra? Clutching at the rocky cliffs, the discontented sea slides slowly back into itself on slippery hands and knees. Gripping with its long green arms, it hugs the grainy sand, searching for a fingerhold to climb out on dry land. Ooh, do you notice any rhyming words? I notice that we've got discontented sea and on slippery hands and knees. And I also noticed in the 2nd stanza, we've got it hugs the grainy sand to climb out on dry land. So the 3rd poem, Porch Light, this one, let's read this one really quick just as a reminder. At night the porch light catches moths and holds them, trapped and flapping in a tight yellow fist. Only when I turn the switch will it loosen its hot grip. I don't really notice tight fist, switch. Fist and switch are close. Grip, fist, grip, they're close. But this one I don't notice as much rhyme going on. So, what do you notice about the rhyme in poems? Well, some people think that poems must rhyme, but in fact, poems rhyme and poems don't, okay? Some poems do and some poems don't. Okay, so we're going to review our notes about poems that we have so far. And here they are. Poems have sensory details that help us see, hear, smell, taste, and feel what's happening. Some poems rhyme, Some poems have short lines. We know poems can be about anything. You can write about an object as if it were a person. This is called personification. And this is our new one. Some poems rhyme and some don't. Are you seeing a pattern here? Okay, today we're going to read a new poem. Today's poem is called A Child Frightened by a Thunderstorm by Ted Kooser. So before I read, I'd like you to close your eyes now and open your mind's eye and imagine what is going on in this poem. Thunder has nestled in the grass all night and rumpled it, and with its outstretched wings has crushed the peonies. Its beak was bright, sharper than garden shears, and clattering. It snipped bouquets of branches for its bed. I could not sleep. The thunder's eyes were red. Okay, you can open your eyes now. Wow. What do you notice about how the poet writes about thunder? What do you notice about how the poet writes about thunder? Well, poets often choose words for the way that they sound, and this helps readers know what the poem is about. So if we go back, I'm going to read it again. What do you notice about how the poet has described thunder? Okay. Thunder has nestled in the grass all night and rumpled it, and with its outstretched wings has crushed the peonies. Those are like flowers in the grass. Its beak was bright. Brightness and thunder. Maybe that means lightning? Sharper than garden shears. That definitely sounds like lightning to me. Especially because garden shears are like scissors, and scissors are usually like silver, right? Lightning is kind of that color. And clattering. Ooh, that's a good example of onomatopoeia, which it describes the way a word sounds. So the thunder was clattering. It snipped bouquets of branches for its bed. So this makes me think, wow, that thunder must have been so strong. It's just shaking the branches off the trees. I could not sleep, right? I mean, who could in a big thunderstorm? That's scary. The thunder's eyes were red. So red eyes remind me of maybe the thunder was mad, right? Wreaking havoc. Okay, so what do you notice about how the poem writes about thunder? Well, you might have a different take than I do. I kind of noticed how thunder seemed to be kind of mad on this night. And there was lightning, and it was breaking branches and spreading its wings. Okay, so we know that poets often choose words for the way they sound, and this helps readers know what the poem is about. So what does thunder sound like? Well, it goes boom, rumble, 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 and crash. Right? Can you remember that big fancy word we've been talking about? Why is this? Oh, okay, there we go. That big fancy word we've been talking about starts with an O. Onomatopoeia? Onomatopoeia. Okay. These are examples of onomatopoeia. Okay, so I've already read the poem again, but what words remind you of the sound of thunder? Okay, we can do it one more time. Listen to this again. What words remind you of the sound of thunder? Thunder has nestled in the grass all night and rumpled it, and with its outstretched wings has crushed the peonies. Its beak was bright, sharper than garden shears, and clattering. It snipped bouquets of branches for its bed. I could not sleep. The thunder's eyes were red. Wow, so I see some rhyme. I notice that there's personification happening because we're talking about thunder as if it has human qualities. We've got onomatopoeia in here with the word clattering. Lots of great poetic, literary terms and strategies being used here. So the use of words that sound like what they're describing is called onomatopoeia. Say it with me. Onomatopoeia. 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 All right, very good. So, if you were going to write a poem like Child Frightened by a Thunderstorm, and you were going to write about another kind of weather, what kind of weather might you write about? Could it be tornadoes? A hot sunny day? Foggy days? Snow? So for our quick write today, I want you to now take out a piece of paper, or if you're on a computer and you want to type it up, okay, open your writing document on your computer, and I want you to title it Ideas About Weather. Okay, so go ahead and do that now. If you need to pause this, you can pause this. So you're gonna title it Ideas About Weather, and when you're jotting down your ideas, you want your thoughts to flow, okay? So don't worry about making mistakes. Just get all of your thoughts out. Everything that you might think about the weather that you're gonna write about and all of the ways that you wanna portray it, okay? And these are the 3 questions we're gonna focus on. What sensory details might you use to describe this type of weather? How might you write about this type of weather as if it were a person? And what might you do in that kind of weather? What might you do in that kind of weather? So I have an example of what I did today, and I wrote about hail. I chose hail as my weather, and you can see how I've titled it Hail, and I just gave myself a little heads up for what to include, and this was just my notes, right? So my ideas about weather. So I wrote the sky spirit. That's the first thing that came to mind about hail, right? Blue ice, ice dropping from the sky with such a velocity. And we're talking about poems usually have very intentional words that bring about certain feelings. So try and use creative words, words that might look kind of cool or sound kind of cool, right? Because poems usually, they say a lot with a little. So you want to really make all your words count. So these are some of my notes. And then I started writing just some ideas and trying to put it together. But I've got faster and faster, right? That's kind of like alliteration when you repeat the same letter of a word over and over again. Pitter-patter, that is a form of describing sound, right? So that's onomatopoeia. Okay, so I've got some of those things. I've got blue ice, that's a sensory detail. The sky's angry rage, so that's like a human quality, right? The sky doesn't really feel those emotions. So that's my personification. Okay, so you're going to do your quick write, and then it's writing time. So after you've got all your notes down and you're happy with a bunch of the things that you've got written about your weather, then you're going to write a wonderful creative poem and save it for your poetry booklet. So I wrote about hail, and I will read you my poem. So notice I have my title, Hale. And here we go. Hale has chosen to perform today. Let me try that again. There was a big motorcycle driving by. Thanks, motorcycle. Okay. Hale has chosen to perform today. Its hair rumpled in disarray. It starts with such velocity, faster and faster. A pitter-patter of blue ice blankets the ground from the sky's angry rage. In the next movement, a silence settles, a calm and peaceful sound. Okay, I can't wait to hear what you guys come up with. Make sure that you are collecting your documents. It would be really great if you're typing them as well as writing them, so that way we can share them easily with each other and leave each other feedback, which we'll be doing coming up soon. Have a great day, and write. Adios.